to the Thought Snob Podcast. I'm Paula Swope. Let's get snobby. I just turned 49. My birthday is December 25th, 1976, so I'm officially in the last year of my fifth decade. And I want you to hear this so very clearly. The advice I'm about to give you is not theory. It's not something I read in a book. It's not something that I hope works. This advice took my life from an absolute shit show to a life that's actually worth living. Now, practice what I preach. My goal for this episode is simple. It's to raise your awareness around the things in your life that are actively destroying it and to give you real strategies for changing your life if that's what you want to do. And I need to say this up front. I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. They're bullshit. They don't work. They're the personal development version of a crash diet. If you're ready for real sustainable change, this episode is for you. If you're not, that's okay. Just don't waste your time listening to me. 2026 can be a clean slate. It can be an energetic reset, but only if you want it to be. So the first thing I want to talk about is helping you to get honest about what isn't working in your life. Here's the first thing I want you to do. Think about what's working in your life, and then think about what isn't. If you critically think about what isn't working, you'll start to see repeating patterns, okay? Now, when I did this years ago, I had a brutal realization. I'd been bar hopping in the same old damn town for about 20 years. 20 years of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Now, there were good times for sure. There's no doubt about that. But those good times ended long before my behavior did. It was a dead-end street. So let me ask you this. What dead-end streets do you drive down every single day? Think about that. Bar hopping did not reflect the life I so desperately wanted. In fact, the life I wanted was the opposite of that behavior. But I was blinded by doubt and fear and everything that felt familiar. You know, it was just a part of my identity, I suppose. So I kept doing it. We're creatures of habit. And at one point, I actually thought, well, I'll just keep doing this until the life I want magically shows up. No, that's not how this works. That's not how we communicate with the universe. I had to stop that shit and show the universe I was ready for something better. And when I stopped, my life improved almost immediately. That one decision shifted my energy, and suddenly I started attracting the things I'd been longing for. Now, within a year, my life did not look the same. And I talk about that a lot on this podcast and in my book, Thought Snob. For those of you who have read it, you know the story. And then as I kept moving forward, and every year after that, things just kept getting better and better because I stayed the course. And the life I'm living right now started on a vision board back in, I think it was 2008 or 2009. I wish to God I had saved that vision board. It got lost somewhere, and I don't know where it's at, but I so wish I could show you guys that vision board. Vision boards aren't cute. They are strategic. When you figure out what's not working in your life, make a vision board. They're not cheesy. They're not childish. They are freaking powerful. And I'm teaching 2 in-person vision board classes in January. One on January 11th and one on January the 18th. And the information about those 2 classes is posted with this episode, including the links to register. The seats are limited, and I fully expect both events to sell out. So go ahead and secure your spot if you're interested in joining us. This is not your average vision board class. It's an energetic reset with all the bells and whistles. Both classes are very sophisticated. Both of them are in Prospect, Kentucky. So if you don't live here, they're definitely worth some travel. You'll be blown away. All right, so the next thing is I want you to think about eliminating what doesn't serve you anymore. And you can do this slowly and intentionally. Once you identify what's not working, start eliminating. And some things will be easy and some things will feel damn near impossible. But having an awareness of this, just the awareness alone, puts you 50 steps ahead of the game. Start small. Eliminate one thing at a time. Start with the easy stuff and never underestimate incremental change. That's how real transformation happens. So here's an example of how this may look. Let's say someone's Facebook post trigger you. And you know you need to delete that person, but you're just not quite ready to do it yet, and that's fine. Just unfollow them for now and set the intention to delete them later. And then ask yourself, why am I holding on? Like, what's the cost of keeping this person? What are the benefits of keeping this person? How will I feel when this energy is gone? Ask yourself those questions and then get quiet. No TV, no phone, no distractions. If the answer is a maybe, that's ego. If it's not a clear yes or no, don't move yet. Don't make a move. Clarity always comes. It might take a while or it may not, but it always comes. And here's a powerful benchmark. If you can go 3 months without something or someone, oh, you're golden. You're good to go. Aim for 3 months, okay? Now, this is heavily tied to releasing people without feeling guilty. Guilty is a useless emotion. Some of you already know who needs to go. You just may not want to admit it yet, but you know who needs to go. I want you to ask God, or whatever name you use for the higher power, I want you to ask to help you release that person. And let me say this clearly. I'm here to help everyone. There are no rules about how you address the divine. If it feels right to you, then it's right, all right? So imagine how you'll feel when that person is no longer in your energy space. Now imagine that releasing them isn't selfish, that it's exactly what you're meant to do, what you're supposed to do. Like, what if letting them go is actually part of your life purpose? And maybe until you let them go, you can't fully step in to what you're really supposed to be doing. Give yourself permission to release any person, place, or thing that makes your life worse. That's the fastest way to improve your life, period. Because you're meant to evolve. What served you 10 years ago might not serve you now. We're supposed to change. If you live the same year over and over for 100 years or whatever, that's not living. That's surviving. Okay? First person that I ever heard say that was Dr. Wayne Dyer. That's straight from his playbook. It makes so much sense. It really resonated with me the first time I heard him say it. So moving on to breaking bad habits. So here's how to break a bad habit without forcing it, okay? If you want to ditch a bad habit, let's use smoking. A lot of people set a New Year's resolution to stop smoking. So let's just use that common example, and it's one that I can relate to, okay? So if you want to ditch a bad habit like smoking, start with your imagination. That's how I did it. I'm dead serious. I wasn't ready to quit, but I knew I needed to. So I envisioned myself smoke-free. And I thought about what my life would look like if I wasn't a smoker. And I envisioned myself, I saw myself jogging uphill, breathing easily, feeling strong. And I used the affirmation, I am perfect health. And I would repeat that all day long. Because if you're a smoker, you are not perfect health, right? So I am perfect health. I would think that, say it out loud all day long, write it down. I still use it to this day. I was saying it this morning. So I removed the pressure and focused on identity instead. And eventually, the habit fell away completely. I can't imagine picking up a cigarette in this day and time. I've been smoke-free for many years. Now, this next thing might be the most important topic that I speak on during this podcast episode. What you think about before you go to sleep is critically important. What you focus on before bed is powerful. Here's the deal. Your subconscious has hours to digest whatever you feed it, and your subconscious cannot distinguish between what's really happening and what you're just thinking about. If you go to sleep worrying, you're programming more of what you don't want. Worrying is the same thing as praying for what you don't want. If you only make one change in 2026, make it this. Change what you focus on in the last 5 minutes before you go to sleep. Set a reminder if you need to. It will take some repetition to get into the habit of doing this, just like anything else. Place images of what you want on a vision board and sit it beside your bed. I used to do that. Look at it before you go to sleep. And that will shift your focus onto what you want and off of any, worrisome thoughts that you may be having. Your life is a direct reflection of your dominant thoughts. I cannot stress that enough. It is the absolute truth. Now I'm going to move on to the next thing, and it's something that you have got to stop saying. And I hear so many people say this, and I just cringe. And I used to say it too. And we do it subconsciously. We just say it. It's like we're on autopilot, but you got to stop saying that you can't afford things. Here's where I'm going with this. Make a list of everything you don't want in your life. Then ask yourself what thoughts may have created those things. You don't like where you live. You don't like your car. You don't like your job. You don't like your clothes, shoes, furniture. You don't like your doctors, whatever. All of those things can be traced to this statement right here. I can't afford it. I will never say that sentence again as long as I live, unless it's for teaching purposes. Your words matter. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your greatest liability. Using that awful statement tells the universe to direct your car to the Dollar General store parking lot, even though you entered the address for Saks Fifth Avenue in your GPS. You gotta stop saying that, okay? The next thing for 2026 is to self-explore. Self-exploration is power. Learn new things about yourself, your personality type. Learn about your natal chart, your human design, your patterns. Why do you think the way you do? Irritation is your higher self talking. When you learn new things about yourself, you're more attuned to why you feel the way you feel. If something or someone irritates you consistently, that's information. That's data. Pay attention to how you feel. I didn't realize how dysregulated my nervous system was until I moved away from my hometown, and the anxiety disappeared instantly. Like, I was always curious about why I felt so anxious before, going out to dinner or to an event or really anywhere in my hometown until I moved away. Your body knows. Your body knows. Listen to your body. Don't let your mind run the show all the time. next thing I want to talk about, just a little storytelling here. When I turned 39, Will took me to Graceland to celebrate my 40th birthday a little early, and I wanted to go there. I had never been during December, and I wanted to see the Christmas lights, and it was a really special trip that I remember vividly. And I remember thinking how far away turning 50 felt. I was freaked out about turning 40. I was totally freaked out about it. But I just felt relieved that 50 was so far away. Listen to me. This decade flew by. And it didn't just shape me, it set up the second half of my life. And the second half is going to be better than the first. All of my due diligence and daily disciplines that I practiced over the past 10 years created what's to come for me. And it looks real good, but it could have been real bad. Over 20 years ago, I made a choice that my life was not going to be a shit show, and I started using an affirmation that eventually became my reality. And this is it. With God, all things are possible. Make that your mantra in 2026. Replace every disempowering thought with it. You want to say some bullshit like you can't do something or you can't buy something? Say this instead. With God, all things are possible. Say it with me right now. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. So thank you for being here with me again today. Please have a safe and happy new year. And if you love the Thought Snob podcast, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next year.
The Thought Snob podcast with Paula Swope has been brought to you by Thought Snob Media in association with Special Purpose Studios. All production, mixing, and sound engineering by me, Will Swope. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Please take a few seconds to give us 5 stars and leave a review. See you on the next Thought Snob podcast with Paula Swope.